our on with the ideas to in project so that I can help you turn one big idea into one amazing collection of digital assets. As you know, to help you grow, GRO is all about focusing on your goals, routines, and offers. So I'm excited. I'm excited to see you guys coming on. And hey, Afi, it's been a minute. So good to see you, my dear. Hey, Karen, I love it. I love it. You are here. As you guys are coming on in, I am going to jump into the Ideas to Income project with you, okay? So this is all about building. I am so focused on that word, BUILD, getting better at building better, baby, right? So what we're going to do is focus on building around one powerful idea that's inside of you so that you can stop creating random content, multiply that one idea strategically, and build momentum this weekend, okay? For me, this month is all about the momentum, and I'm super excited because what I get to do is virtually hang out with y'all this weekend and then in person here in North Carolina next weekend. So I've got some power-packed days ahead of me. Now, when it comes to this whole idea of turning your big ideas into income, our focus is on the following. First, we want to clarify what you are going to really lean into, okay? And I've got some AI CC clarity prompts to support you. You're going to work on building content around that idea, creating quite a few visual assets so that you can build a clear monetization path, right? So that we are creating something that you can strategize around, monetize around, and move forward with momentum. So being in a space where you feel like all the focus is building an expandable content system. So you feel like you have this never-ending content pool to pull from. We're going to make sure that you create connected and not disconnected strategic assets because we don't want what you're building to feel fragmented, right? So that you can multiply those ideas into a solid collection and build once, repeat, reuse repeatedly, okay? So for me, I'm constantly in a space where I'm what I call building on what I've already built, right? So every single year I do Fire Start Your Year, Love on Your Business, Maintain Your Momentum, right? Spring into action so that I'm consistently sharing the best of what I have, but it's in a traditional space because I've created something that I am building on and improving, multiplying on an annual basis, okay? So clarify it, say it, that's where we begin. Defining your idea into a framework so that we can turn those ideas and assets into momentum. Now, how do we start this process? First thing that I want to make sure that you do is go over to our Ideas to Income Projects Hub. Now, there are several ways in which you can do this. Two main ways are as follows. Number one, if you're in the Titan Academy, log into Titan, then you'll see the Right Now Roadmap, which has been our hub for the last 30 days. It's our 90-day hub, figuring out what you need to focus on right now. And inside the Right Now Roadmap, you'll see the Ideas to Income Project. That's number one. Number two, if you have the opportunity to invest in my everything bundle so that you can make this year your best year ever, inside the Everything Bundle, one of the good goods you'll see is, again, the Ideas to Income project that I've created for you. So if we mosey on over to my Google Chrome real quick, I'll just make sure you're acclimated. Hopefully you guys can find it. And we will then jump right into building your idea income sequence. We're going to work through the workflow. Yes, so we've got two options, either the Everything Bundle or the Titan Academy, but I'll show you each, okay? All right, so just quickly making sure that everybody's clear about how to get to where we need you to be, because you got to build with these prompts, okay, working with me. First is, if you're in the 1-year academy, the Titan Academy, log in, and if you look at the What's New section, there are lots of things in here. You click on Show All, you can see all the good goods that I'm working on for you, but right now we're focused on the Right Now roadmap. Okay, so if you go to the Right Now roadmap and scroll down just a little bit on the main page, you should find the Ideas to Income project, and bam, it takes you right there. Okay, so Ideas to Income is inside the Titan Academy Right Now roadmap for those of you who are in my 1-year program. Now, if you got an invitation to get the Everything Bundle and you said, yes, that is the thing for me, well then, baby, your project is in the Build Your Best Business Everything Bundle page. And when you go underneath everything, you'll see all the things that are included in that. The second thing that's listed is the Ideas to Income Hub. Just want to make sure whether you are in one program or the other, you know where to go to get your good goods. All right. Now, here inside of our Ideas to Income Hub, all you got to do is go to prompts, because we are, for the next 2 days, going to go through the workflow I've created for you, starting with clarity first. So when you go to prompts, everything is actually organized very cleanly. You can go through the prompts in 2 ways, either clicking on day 1, which is today, versus day 2, okay? Or you can go through the prompts as we go through the different categories of ideation, content creation. So Clarify It is the first one, and there are a few clarifying prompts, right? And then the next one is Say It, Show It, Activate It, and Sell It. So as we're going through these, you can go through just the entirety of one day versus the next, or jump to a particular type of prompt project that you want to restart, complete, etc. Okay? So if you're good, just let me know. Drop it into the chat so that I can see. Number 1. Number 2, first thing that we're going to do is, let me just kind of refresh my screen here. We're going to lean into the personalized path, okay? Because I believe that each of you has an amazing idea inside of you, probably more than a few, right? But leaning into one particular path is what we're going to do. So, quick power pause. Just always want to make sure that you guys are good, and then we'll move forward. Alrighty, so I am going to copy the first prompt, which is the personalized path plan, okay? You copy that prompt and you put it into your AI platform of choice. I'm working in ChatGPT. You can follow me. If you prefer Claude or Gemini, that's fine as well, okay? So let's open up your AI of choice. I'm going to move into ChatGPT. And then I'm going to pop that prompt in there and hit enter, okay? Now, it says, welcome back. Awesome. I have your focus on AI-powered digital products creation. Okay, now so I'm going to restart instead. my restart on before I jump in to the very, very beginning. Excuse me. Um, and then I'll start it from the very beginning. I'm going to do two things. Number one, you can put the prompt in and start it, and I'll jump in a second because I need to restart. I've already started one, and then we'll go from there. Alrighty, so if you use these prompts in a previous conversation, it will start as like a continuation, but I wanted to make sure that it fresh started so that it can get me right into our first prompt, which is working on a personalized plan, okay? So it says, hey, I'm Cece, your clarity coach. Today we're going to find your best niche, your strongest problem, your clearest promise, and your most sellable digital product. I'm excited, y'all, because this is I think one of the best prompts, the best processes that I've worked on in a while. So I'm really excited to work through this particular path with you, okay? So it says, based on what I already know about your work with systems, positioning for you. So first thing is where you an industry, a niche, and a niche within that niche that would be a good fit for you based on what it knows about you. So jumping right in, it's going to give you a micro assessment out of the gates. Now, that works well for those of you who, like me, are all about your AI, okay? And you're in there in your AI practically every day. Now, the options that it gives you doesn't quite feel like you, that's okay. Let me tell you why. When you scroll down, it says, pick the option that feels most aligned, or tell me none of these, and I will ask a few questions to refine your path. Okay? Now, this is the first part of the process that we're working through today. Okay? I'm going to quietly scroll and read through what it's given to me, and I want you to be able to do the same thing too, so that we can go through this process one step at a time together. Okay, so first thing that I want to do is make sure that everybody who is here is good. So if you're watching and you're just kind of doing that, it's okay, but keep in mind this is a build-a-thon, so the idea is that we are building better together, putting in the prompt and working through the process, okay? So I'm going to just look at the first one and then read the next one in my mind. But first option it said is you should be in the AI-powered digital product industry, helping women create digital products faster with AI. The niche within the niche is helping them specifically create AI-generated ebooks, apps, products, low-ticket offers. That's obviously what I do a lot. So it's giving me direction based on the conversations that I have with it. Okay? Why this was potential. Okay? Now, yours might look slightly different than mine depending on the kind of conversations you have with it, number one, and whether or not you're talking to it through Gemini, Claude, or like I'm talking to it through ChatGPT, because honestly, each of those platforms approach conversations differently. Okay, Claude will talk to you very differently from ChatGPT. So, again, I'm going to take my time here and read through the ones it's given me so I can pick one. I might even look at suggestions, but I'll see. Let me know. Are you guys good so far? Are you working through your prompt? So let's pause for a second. Okay, let's pause for a second just so I can make sure everybody's up to speed. So the first thing is, if you go to any of the emails I've sent to you saying, hey, we've got a live training session today, then those emails would have had the password and link to the academy. But Karen, specifically, I know that in our conversations, if you go to your Google Doc, your Clarity Sessions doc, the login information should be in there as well. And probably one of the latest conversations that we've had, you should find the login information to the academy. Okay? Number one, what I might do is send all of you in the academy a quick link as well, just to kind of make sure that it's easy for you to access. But let me know if you have any trouble with that. Okay? The second thing is, let's make sure everybody's clear on what prompts we're using. So if I go back to it's literally the first prompt. So day one, you start off with the first prompt. It says number one. You copy it, ChatGPT, a better selection of recommendations for you. Okay? Now, I'm just going to make sure everybody's good and clear, and you can get in here. Got it now? Awesome. Okay. So let me fix that as well. Okay, so it's giving me three options. I'm reading through mine. Hopefully everybody has yours. And then I'm looking at option number 2 and number 3. Okay, so it says pick the one that feels most aligned, or tell me none of these, and I will ask a few questions. So you may want to do that if you don't feel like those are a good fit for you. I'm going to say, I think I know which ones I want, but of these 3, which would you recommend for me and why? I was going to go with B, so I was thinking, let me go with B. This is probably the closest thing I've seen to your natural teaching philosophy. I would not abandon A or C. Instead, option B becomes the umbrella, and A and C, A, the implementation method, C, the monetization system. I like the way you think. Let's go with B. That is what I was thinking too. Boink! Perfect. We're locked in on the positioning path. So for me, let me just tell you the direction that I'm leaning towards. And if you want to, I would love to know what it's telling you. So you can unmute yourself at any time. Just interrupt me, unmute, and tell me what you're hearing, what you're seeing. Because I want this to be a conversational experience. I want us to have fun hanging out with each other this weekend. So you can comment in the chat or at any time unmute yourself and let me know what you're getting. So my first option was create an AI-powered digital product creation. The second one was help entrepreneurs turn one big idea into a repeatable content system. And I was like, okay, this is what we're literally doing all weekend. So B just seems like the right fit for me. So the thing about it is this: we all have a lot of great ideas, right? And curiosity is always a thing for me. So depending upon how much you talk to your AI, having it give you what it believes is your industry niche specific focus is an interesting way to kind of gauge what you are focused on versus what it recommends. Now, another cool thing that you can do, we're not necessarily doing that today, okay, is actually putting this prompt into two platforms at the same time to compare what they say to you. I call that my AI Clarity Council. Now, I'm actually going to show you how I would do that right now, but I'm only going to focus on ChatGPT for now, okay? So I'm going to literally go back to this prompt, like that. We're on prompt 1. I'm just going to copy it again, okay? Now I'm going to go over to Claude, okay? And I'm going to paste it into Claude and hit enter. And this one is going to start that conversation for me, okay? So it says, you dropped the CC system prompt without directive. So tell me, run it, review it, build something from it. Run it. Claude is a little different from ChatGPT. ChatGPT just automatically runs it for me. Okay, hi, I'm Cece. Yay. So today we're going to find your best niche, your strongest problem, your clearest promise, okay? Rather than pretend I don't know that, it says, okay, one thing, before we hit step 1, I already know quite a bit about you, LaShonda Henry. You're the founder of Sister Sense, serving women entrepreneurs. Rather than pretend I don't know that, I want to use it. So here's my first question. Who specifically are you building this path plan for? Is this for your own branding, or are you running through this as a client-facing test so you can see exactly what your members experience when they use it? Great question. I am doing this for myself. So as you can tell out of the gates, how Claude approaches this prompt is slightly different from ChatGPT, number 1. And then number 2, how you get the prompt might look different from how I get it because our conversations are different. Okay, I have enough context to jump straight in without running you through a discovery set of questions. So first is a digital education industry, niche within the niche, create an AI-assisted product building for women who already have knowledge but not the system. Revenue activation for women entrepreneurs, help established business owners stop overbuilding and start selling. Content monetization for Black women, teach community-rooted women business owners how to turn their existing audience into a buying audience. So it's given me slightly different ones than what ChatGPT gave to me, right? And so when I get my AI console, sometimes I'll actually run back and forth and I'll say, okay, well, ChatGPT said this, Claude said this, what do you think, right? I'm only focused on one platform for today, but I did kind of want to give you a sense of how I go back and forth with this conversation when it comes to these two platforms. So I might say something like, let me get the list that ChatGPT gave to me. Okay. This is interesting. ChatGPT gave me a slightly different list what do you think of these? Paste that in and give that to Claude. Honest take, ChatGPT's options are cleaner on the surface, but shallower where it counts. Here's the breakdown. Ooh. Claude does not hold back. Claude has claws, I think, sometimes. It can be a little spicy. Option B is actually strong. It's genuinely ownable philosophy, and the language is crisp. That framing has real positioning, where mine is stronger. Path 2 goes somewhere ChatGPT did not go at all. It names the behavioral pattern and not just the topic. This is the difference between a niche and a movement. ChatGPT stayed in content and product creation territory. I pushed into identity level frustration for your audience, which is where the real monetization lives. Okay? And this is an interesting conversation, right? So I am going to say this. I'm actually going to run with B from ChatGPT. How would you do what you said you did, which was pull out the frustrations and go where the real monetization lives for B. Okay, so it's going to think, it's going to give me some interesting things. Here is option B, rewritten with the layer ChatGPT left out. So it's deeper. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is give this to Chat. Sometimes, I don't do this all the time, but sometimes I get my AI council together and we have a good old kiki because, again, they look at things sometimes differently. Sometimes they're in alignment, and then sometimes they're like, let me tell you where Claude was right. And ChatGPT be like, let me tell you where Claude was wrong. And I was right. So I did see you guys have a comment. I'm going to check your comment in just a second, but first let me do this. Okay, I want to run with B, but okay, I'm going to read this and also review what you just gave me. But first, I did ask Claude, and Claude said this. Then I asked for more, and Claude gave me this. Okay, so what do you think about the above, and does that change your response below? And hit enter. Now, I'm not going to go back and forth at this point because I want to just stay in one platform, because when you do the AI council conversation, sometimes literally I'll do it with my full AI council. I'll be like, council in session, everybody put your vote in. My full AI council is ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini, and Lovable, and I'll sit here and run through every little inch with a fine-tooth comb. Okay, but I'm just showing you a little bit of something today. I don't want you to do the AI council prompt because then you would get behind, honestly, with what I'm doing with you today. However, something in me just felt like sharing that with you. So I decided to. Let me check the chat. Did you download your conversation and put it in Claude? No, I didn't. So let's look real quick. I just copy. You see this little icon here? I'm mousing over it. That's a copy. So while I'm in the conversation, I might take one or two of the responses, copy it, and then put it into the next chat. Right? So I don't download anything per se. I'll just say, well, ChatGPT said this, copy it, And when I click it, it says message copied right there, right? And then paste it in and then say, well, Claude said this, Gemini said this, Lovable said this. Like, what do you think? Everybody do a vote. Everybody push back. You know, who did it best? Should I do this one? Should I do a hybrid? What do you think? Like, you know, kind of that usually is what I do. It said the personalized path copy prompt was too long for Claude. You could actually paste it in. I pasted it in and it worked fine for me. That's interesting. I'm not sure where you got that response because it's not that long, actually. It's not that long. Yeah, because I just copied it into my Claude and it worked. I'm at home. The prompts. You make me laugh. When we go through the prompts, you get excited. Okay, now, like I said, I'm going to focus on ChatGPT, and I'll share with you what Chat said to me, okay? So when I told Chat I was going to focus on option B, it said, okay, well, now that we've locked it in, let's talk about your positioning. It gave me the position path, which is turning one big idea into one big collection of apps, assets, posts, products, and visuals. And yes, the reason this feels right is because it already sounds like you. Now, let's move into step 2, problems, okay? So as you work through the path, the next thing it's going to do is help you figure out the 10 biggest problems that your target person is facing with respect to that particular conversation. Right? So when it comes to creating things, my audience tends to struggle with creating random, disconnected content, having too many unfinished ideas. Can you relate to any of these? Do not know what to focus on first, struggle with consistency, creating content that does not lead anywhere, overcomplicating digital product creation, visible in burst instead of momentum, do not know how to multiply one idea, feel overwhelmed by tech and tools, struggle to turn creativity into predictable revenue. Now, it's going to keep going deeper into the path personalization plan for you. It's going to show you where your target audience has very strong pain point problems, and it's also going to help you identify their desires as well as how you can monetize that in a very clear, succinct way, okay? Out on every level. Oh, it hit? Okay. So then it says the monetization pain point is I have ideas, I have content, I have expertise, but I do not know how to turn them into a connected collection of assets that consistently attracts customers and generates sales. This is the strongest pain point because it combines issues like visibility, consistency, overwhelm, monetization, all into one problem, right? So your path, your personalized path, is going to help you come up with a plan, and a part of that plan is being able to get clear about the problems, the pain points that your person is going through. Right? Being able to even articulate who your person is a big part of this process, okay? Now, I want you to work through this prompt too. So hopefully you guys are putting the prompt in and you're starting to work it out, okay? Now, like I said, I kind of veered off. I drifted a bit just to see out of curiosity what ChatGPT thought about Claude's messaging. I think Claude added something very important. They do not have a collection problem. They have an extraction problem. This is strong because it moves the positioning from create more stuff to learn how to fully extract the value of one idea. And honestly, I think this is closer to the real emotional engine underneath your work. But not just consistency, but underused ideas, leaving value on the table, which, as you know, leaves money on the table, right? Now, does this change my recommendation? Yes, but not completely. Old version refined. All right. Now, because it's not because it's wrong, but because it's strategic. Lead with identity specificity. Lead with transformation. Refine positioning plans. Want to keep this as is or tweak it? I like it. Let's tweak it. Oh, sorry. Sorry. I meant to say let's keep it. Okay. Now, so far I've gone through the first two steps, and I'm ready to lean into the next part, right? I'm going to keep going here. Refine problem. Monetization problem. Keep. Excellent. Now, it's on to step 3, the desired outcomes. They want one idea to generate assets. They want consistent visibility without burnout. They want connected offers. They want faster content creation. They want clearer monetization. The strongest desired outcome, building a connected ecosystem where one idea continuously creates visibility, authority, momentum, and revenue. The outcome your person wants is not just more content, products, or consistency. It's really the ability to turn one strong idea into a connected ecosystem that keeps working for them because they're tired of constantly rebuilding from scratch. Anybody can relate to that? Because I think it's spot on for me. And that is where your positioning becomes much more premium and movement-driven. Want to keep this as is, tweak, or have me generate the whole set? Yes, let's keep. Let's keep. This is good. So there are a few steps here. I've gone through the first 3 of them. Can you guys let me know, those of you who are proactively doing this now, how many steps you've worked through at all? And again, you can unmute yourself at any time. I'd love to kind of hear what you're doing, what you're gaining. Once I get to see you guys in person next week, that's fun because I get to see what you're doing in the room. But I can't see you, but I can feel the energy. And I just want to make sure that you are moving in the right direction. Also, let me make sure I am recording. Okay, good things there. And I am charging because that's, that's always a thing for me. All right. So now that we have a very strong transformation, here is a recommended product type, the One Big Collection Starter Kit, a hybrid that fits your positioning extremely well. Your audience does not just need inspiration, they need structure, why this product fits. Okay? What it should help them do. And 3 to 5 things that this should include. The One Big Idea Extractor, the Asset Multiplier, what to leave out. Okay? So this can be a front door offer that's anywhere between $27 to $47, or it can be a premium offer. Okay. So it literally is going to, now it says, do you want to keep it as is or tweak it? Now, it literally is going to give you a 4-step process where it's going to show you their pain points. It's going to show you their desires. It's going to recommend a digital product that you can produce that's in a line with this particular path. And again, this is an opportunity for you to compare where you are and what you're working on to what the AI recommends to you. Now, it may recommend something pretty similar to what you're already doing and just kind of tighten it up for you, right? Or it may veer into something slightly different for you that you haven't considered, okay? Which I think is just a fun part of the process. Now, I like what it's given me. I'm going to go to Claude just to see, out of curiosity, what it says. This is your pass. Ready for move? Yes, step 2. Step 2. I'm just out of curiosity going to see what it says. If it's different. They finish a live training and launch and immediately feel like they're starting from zero again instead of building on what they've already created. They've bought courses, templates, memberships, but still feel like they're not producing. It talks about their challenges in a slightly different way. They undercharge or under-launch because they don't believe one idea is substantial enough to be a full product. The most monetizable pain point. They're spending more time creating new content than monetizing what they already exist. Keep. Ten most desired outcomes. They want a signature system. They want to feel like their work is building towards something. Strongest outcome. Your person most wants is not more digital products. It's really a body of work they can see, sell, and be proud of. Keep. It's kind of saying something, it's similar, but it's just Claude writes in such a different way from ChatGPT. The best fit is a toolkit with a built-in challenge component. Here is why. Your person doesn't need more information about content strategy. They need a structured extraction experience that walks them through turning one idea into a full collection. All right. What to include? Want to keep as is. Okay, so I'm going to do something. I'm going to say, okay, this is interesting. Let's AI counsel for a second. Claude said, now, just to kind of show you, because I know Tiffany was like, did you download? Claude has the same thing that ChatGPT has, which is the ability to copy. So I'm going to copy the pain problems, the desires, and the product that Claude gave me. Okay, so Claude said this. Claude said that was the problem. Let me copy the desired outcomes. So I'm clicking that little copy icon. Claude said. Claude said. Now I'm going to put the same things in for ChatGPT. ChatGPT said, scrolling up. Copy this. ChatGPT said, these are the desires. ChatGPT said. Now, do you have to do AI console? You do not. And like I said, because I'm used to this, it doesn't take me long. And I'm only doing it just to kind of show you striking differences. What is your take on all of the above? Best direction. One, the other, hybrid of the two. Now, I'm going to go into, actually, you know what? I'm going to do them side by side. Let's do that. That just makes life easier. So Claude is on the left, ChatGPT is on the right. I'm on my iPad, so I can do side-by-side relatively easily. And then I'm going to paste, that into Claude and paste this into ChatGPT. Okay. So both of them are figuring out their take on the situation. Now, I see that a few ladies have entered the room. Hey, ladies. Welcome, welcome. So we are doing some fun things, okay? The first thing I want is those of you who are just coming on in the room, can you tell me yes or no if you can log into the academy? Let me know that real quick. And I'm just going to reset the room, get y'all up to speed, and then go forward. All right, y'all. So I had to get the room up to speed. I had to get everybody up to speed. So number one, the first thing is, and I'm scrolling up real quick, right? I gave you all the personalized path prompt, and I put that prompt into Claude on the left, and I put it into ChatGPT on the right. I don't recommend you do both, but I'm showing you both because sometimes I have what I call the AI council conversation, and I ask different AI platforms the same questions just to kind of see their responses. And then literally I will share each response with the other and get like a holistic view of what they think I should do. Do I recommend you do that today? No. But again, I like to show you how I chat GPT so that when you are on your own time, you can practice it like me, okay? Now, the goal here is that once you put that prompt in, immediately it should offer you 3 recommendations on industry, niche, and niche within the niche that fits you. Pick one of those. Now, it will tell you if you don't feel like the ones you have are the right fit for you. Let me know. It'll say, hey, pick one of these. But if it's say none of these fit, then I'll ask you some questions to give you a more refined path. Okay? So those of you who are here, up until this point, whether you were here with me from the very beginning or you're just coming on in here, have you done that first step yet? Have you gotten something yet? Feel free to drop into the chat, but even better than that, I'd love for you guys to unmute yourself and tell me what you're getting, okay? Some of y'all, I'm not going to see you till next week, but if I can hear you today, that will also be good, okay? So that's the first step. I did it. Yay! Good, good, good. So I want to know what you're getting, and that's going to be the first part of the process. It's going to help you identify basically where your path begins. And then it's going to give you 3 more things, right? I can speak. Hello? Yeah, you can speak. Unmute yourself.
Right. So I'm at the point where I have the 5P snapshot. And I don't know if the P's are the same for everybody, but person, problem, promise, well, I guess it would be the same, product, and position.
Okay,
So
awesome.
that's where I'm at.
What are you getting? What have you gotten so far? Is it in alignment?
Yes. I like that it's really focusing on, like when you said the niche, right, the nuance of it, which, sorry, I just got to go play back in a few minutes, okay? Sorry about that. The nuance of it, and I love it because it really hones in on giving me clarity around my language in terms of what the distinction is in terms of my value and my offer. So I'm really identifying with it, and even the problems. What I loved about this particular prompt is that it kind of extracted all of the fluff away and just really got down to the core problem and being able to solve that without all of that, the extra stuff. And people could see the promise as I'm scrolling down, looking at it, and giving me a more defined product. I think my issue has been when I said ouch on every level, I found myself always feeling, and some of this is my personality, feeling like I'm always in refinement mode. And what I loved about this is that I don't have that sense of feeling right now. I feel like it's very, very well defined that I don't feel like I need to keep refining it. So it seems more, and I'm going to use the word that it gave me that I really love, it seems more executable. So this is really good for me.
Awesome.
In fact, one of the modules is an execution mapping system. So this is good. Yeah, I love it.
Do you want to share any of the good as far as what offer you're coming up with, or you're going to hold off until you go a little bit deeper?
Well, let me ask the question, because it literally just pulled this up. Is the offer within this part, or the offer's in?
Oh, just kind of who your audience is and what you should focus on for them.
Oh, sorry. Okay. So my audience is really around pastors, church leaders, apostles, overseers, things like that at that level, where they have a church vision and they're struggling with actually making that vision executable. And so I help translate that vision into where it actually it becomes executable, right? And it has movement around it. So one of the things that I don't know if I told you this, LaShonda. I think I have a intensive at the end of the month, and the product that it gave me was Build Beyond Sunday. And so the concept is that a lot of times pastors they're building ministry, but they're building it only for Sunday, and they don't take into consideration that they have to build beyond that, right? So that it can be, sustainable, and that they can have a vision that's actually going to move and be executable. Did that answer your question?
Okay, good. So yes, it does. So you're leaning into that offer specifically, and it's helping you kind of figure out how you're going to help that audience.
Yes.
What I'm saying. Okay, good. So if anyone feels like you want to share, definitely pop in. I'm just going to check the chat to see real quick what you're getting. Lavon says, this is amazing. Lavon, I need to know what you're getting. Hey, Tammy, welcome. Just getting in the room. Is there a fee for the prompts? So, yes, if you want to access the prompts, there are two ways to do it. Number one, if you got an email invitation for today, inside of that email, there should have been a link that says, hey, if you want to get the prompts and everything that we're doing this weekend, click here, and then it'll tell you how to unlock the prompts as part of the Build Your Best Business Everything bundle. Otherwise, you can definitely first kind of take a look and see what we're building, and then build with me and the community from there. I'm outside. It's a lovely Saturday, so I'm on my porch. I'll power pause at different times just to make sure that you guys can hear me clearly. And whenever you're ready to unlock prompts, if you need support around that, you can check in with me. Otherwise, you can kind of see what we're working on and then glean if it's something that you want to do too. So I'm going to show you a few things that I have done so far, and then if anyone else wants to unpause and say, hey, LaShonda, let me check in and let you know what I'm getting, I'd love that too, okay?
LaShonda?
So, yes?
Sorry, I don't mean to cut you off. I think I may have answered your question wrong. I just want to make sure. So it gave me a product called Strategic Clarity and Execution Toolkit System, and that's what I'm going to work from. Was that what you were asking me?
Well, anything that it gave you, I was just kind of curious to see what you're working on, but it's good. So you've got a product as well. So that's good.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Awesome. So what you're going to find, thank you, what you're going to find is that the prompt is going to help you figure out several things. With your path, the first thing that you're going to do is talk to your AI. I have ChatGPT on the right, and I have Claude on the left, okay? And the first thing it's going to say to you is, based on what I know about you, here's your industry, here's your niche, and here's the niche within the niche that best fits you. And if you don't talk to AI a lot, it's okay, because it's going to say, hey, if what I recommended is not a good fit for you, let me ask you a few questions so we can get deeper into me knowing you and offering recommendations, okay? So that was the first part of this process. And then it's going to say, okay, once you pick one of those paths, it's going to give you the problems that your person is having. So my path is focused on helping women entrepreneurs turn one amazing idea into multiple offers and assets. And it said, you know what, when it comes to women and entrepreneurs in this space, they're struggling with feeling disconnected, having too many unfinished ideas. They're struggling with consistency. Anybody have those struggles when it comes to your particular business? Because these are the ones that AI gave to me. They have content scattered across notebooks, voice memos, Google Docs. They spend more time creating new content than monetizing what they already have. They undercharge and underlaunch because they don't believe in one idea is enough to be a full product. They have brought courses, templates, memberships, but still feel like they're not producing at the level they are capable of. These are the ones Claude gave me. These are the struggles and problems that ChatGPT gave me. So similar to what Karen is saying, that it cuts through all the fat and all the extraness and really talks to you about the problems, the pain points your ideal target person is going through, okay? Then the next thing it's going to do is say, hey, here's what's monetizable about this, how you can monetize this and support those people, right? It's also going to help you get clear about what your people really want, okay? So as far as being monetizable, it says I suggest a $24 to $97 standalone kit. Excuse me. And then I'm just scrolling through to recap for those of you who are just coming on in, right? And then it also gave me the desires, what they really want, as well as scrolling on down, their most desirable outcomes. Then it said, hey, based on all of this, here's a product that you should produce. So by the end of this, you all should have a clear path with a specific product that your AI, your CC, your Clarity Coach says, of all the things you should produce, baby, this is it for you right now, okay? What's great about that is you don't have to necessarily do that product because you can tweak it. You don't have to just take what it gives you at face value. However, the big picture here is that you can compare it to what you're already thinking about to see if what the AI recommends and what you're doing is in alignment. Now, like I said, what's interesting about this is sometimes I have AI counsel conversations. And when I say AI counsel, I mean I'll put the same prompt into ChatGPT, which is on the right, and Claude on the left, and see what they say. But my AI counsel, baby, is actually bigger than this, because sometimes I'll also do Gemini and Lovable, and then I'll be like, all right, votes in, who wins, right? Because they're different platforms, and they say different. So I'm power pausing real quick just to give y'all an opportunity to quietly do at least these parts of the process and then tell you a little bit more about what. Now, if you're working on your prompt and you're good, say good. If you have questions, unmute yourself or drop them into the chat so that I can support you with that, okay? Today's a Build-a-thon, so we're literally building out your ideas. We're going to create assets this weekend, apps and graphics and text and articles and all the things. This is really just the beginning of our Build-a-thon, so I'm excited for you. And like I said, if you're quietly just kind of watching to see the vibe, if it's a good fit for you, awesome. If you want to use the prompts and build with us, either way, that is totally okay. Now, let me just check the chat to see. Once we have the 3 paths, what comes next? So did you go through completely the end of the prompt? Because when you get to the end, it'll give you a snapshot of everything and then stop, okay? So unless you're at the very, very end, you can keep going with the prompt, Lavon, until you get to that point, okay? So right now, I got product recommendations from both ChatGPT and Claude. Do you have to do both? No. I recommend just doing one. I'm doing both because I'm extra. And I like to give you a sense of the different ways you can really utilize these prompts and or your AI platforms, especially those of you who may be paying for multiple platforms, and get the most out of them beyond, one sentence, help me with this, help me with that. Really utilize them as your support team, right? My AI counsel is my support team, and I use them like I'm paying them $500,000 each as specialists to work for me and do the roles that other people would otherwise I'd have to pay for, okay? So I gave them both the product recommendations. I said, hey, ChatGPT told me this, Claude said this. What do you think? So here's ChatGPT. ChatGPT said, I think the best direction absolutely is a hybrid, but not 50-50. More specifically, ChatGPT gave stronger ecosystem. Claude gave stronger emotional diagnosis, and together they create the actual movement. So here's what ChatGPT got right. Your ecosystem for your product, and here's what Claude got right. Compounding failure. That insight is very strong. Their effort never compounds because that is what your audience actually feels. Now, here's the thing. When we talk about pain points, a lot of times, I don't know if you've ever heard this, and you can tell me if you have, this statement when it comes to selling, sell the good night's sleep and not the mattress. Have you ever heard that? Let me know, yes or no. Sell the good night's sleep and not the mattress. Why? People don't care because I'm on the other side of 40, right? My back is always killing me. We don't care about all the bells and whistles and the features. Is this going to give me a good night's sleep? I tell you, baby, a day or two ago, I think I woke up at 5 a.m. And, baby, that was the sweetest sleep for me because usually my behind is asleep at 9 and I'm back up at like 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. Between insomnia and pee breaks, it's something. It's always something at 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. A few nights ago, Jay was looking at me because then he works the night shift. So when he's at home, he usually is awake at 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, only because he doesn't really sleep until 2 or 3 o'clock in the day, just based on his shift, right? So I'm sitting there at 4 o'clock. He's sitting there at 4 o'clock, and I'm blasting my music and acting all crazy because I'm working, but I'm just up. You know what I mean? But I tell you, I think it was the night before last. I slept until 5 o'clock in the morning. I slept like a baby, okay? When people say sell the good night's sleep and not the mattress, what they mean is stop telling people, I'm going to give you this. They don't care about that. They care about where they're feeling pain. They care about where you're going to help them relieve the pain. And that is how you create positioning in a way that converts, in a way that sells. I always say, if you ain't converting, I know you hurting. And so this is going to help you think about logistically and emotionally the best way to position your main offer in a way that's going to resonate with people, where they go, oh my gosh, right? I love to talk about the Killing Me Softly song because they're like, she gets me, right? It's killing me softly, like you are singing my life with your words, right? So same thing here. Claude is like, this is where ChatGPT won. The refined problem map is much better. This is where mine won. My product match is more executable. So here's your hybrid. Use ChatGPT's language, right, but use my product structure. One thing neither of us named that you should not miss, the product itself needs to be a live demonstration of the philosophy. which is funny because I'm doing that now. So they both gave me, are you ready to move into format so we can build the 5P snapshot? So I'm just going to keep moving forward with this and then get my snapshot and move forward. This is great. Now, you could just keep going and say, keep it. It's going to ask you, are you good? Keep it as is, tweak it, or do you want me to generate something new? This is great. I'm going to go with a hybrid of your offers based on ChatGPT saying, I'm just going to put in here what ChatGPT said, which is, I use this little copy icon and copy that in here real quick. And then Claude said, so let's hybrid this baby and give me my final snapshot. So we're going to breeze through these steps once you do the first part, which is getting your path, right? And the only reason it's taken me a little longer than expected to do the path process is because I'm just kind of checking in with you guys every little micro step of the way to kind of get a sense of where you are, okay? Before we start, do you want a simple or detailed? Let's do details. So it's going to give you a snapshot of, and Karen was so gracious to unmute herself and check in. What you're going to get is a snapshot. Your person, my person is women entrepreneurs, creators, coaches, educators, right? It's going to give you why this audience fits. It's going to give you the core problem. Your audience is trying to build visibility, products, and income, but they keep treating every idea like a separate project instead of a connected ecosystem. Is that true? Like, y'all are my audience. Do some of you feel that? Like, you struggle because everything feels separate and not cohesive. I know I was talking to one of my clients this week on Wednesday on a clarity call, and she said, oh, my God, LaShonda, you don't know how good it feels to feel like I finally have something that's cohesive. Then it gives you a promise, right? You need to have something that is a confident message you say to people. And it's like, listen, this is your core promise. Help entrepreneurs go from scattered ideas to disconnected content and constant restarting, right, to being in a place where they have a connected ecosystem, products, momentum without needing more ideas, more overwhelm, or any complicated business system. That's my promise. It's going to give you a promise, a pain, a person, and a product, right? I got a product that I can then create based on this personalized path, okay? Where are you in the process? Did you get your snapshot, number one? Or are you just watching along, number two? It's possible that you're just coming on in here, and if so, welcome. I'll reset the room for anyone new who's coming on in here, but I'm going to do a little faster this time. And then Claude gave me a snapshot as well. It gave me my person, their problem, the promise, the product, and I just love looking at both, but you don't have to do both. I'm just showing you that I've got my consolidated things in here, okay? So is this good or keep it? Okay, so this is solid. I'm working in both ChatGPT and Claude. AI Council is in full effect. So I am going with a hybrid of both your ideas. The best combination. Normally I would just use dictation, but I'm just typing it in because why not? And I just copy literally the same thing in both. So I'm basically telling both of them, hey, you gave me some great ideas on this one offer. I'm going to take the best of both and run with it. Okay. Now, are you guys good? Let me know if you're good. If you have questions and you're just coming on in, let me know. Now, what we're doing today is we're kicking off a 2-day Build-a-thon. And, baby, we just getting started. So I'm excited for you based on what it is that we are going to do, okay? Now, this is called the Ideas to Income Build-a-thon, and we're working through a series of prompts. I'm actually going to pause real quick so I can show you the page that I'm referring to. The hub that I created for this weekend is called Ideas to Income, where we go through 2 days and several prompts to help you turn one piece of content into 30-plus amazing assets, okay? Now, number one, if you are just hanging out with me, free 99, that is absolutely okay. You can watch the process. However, if you want the prompts and you got an invitation to today's training, inside of that email you would have also gotten a link to unlock the prompts as part of my Build Your Best Business Everything bundle, okay? Now, if you click that and you get the bundle, then you'll get access to the Build Your Best Business bundle. When you click on everything, you're going to see the Ideas to Income Hub literally is right in there for you, okay? So one way to get to Ideas to Income is to get the Everything bundle. It's literally in there for you. The other way is those of you who are in my one-year program, the Titan Academy, just log in to the Academy. I literally send everybody an email so you can log in, and you'll see Ideas to Income on the What's New section. So go to What's New, Ideas to Income, click it. There you go, okay? One of two ways to get into Ideas to Income. Otherwise, you can watch along, and if this feels like something you want, then you can then go and get it if you don't have it when you're ready. And if you want to privately talk to me, you can send me a voice message and or an email if you have questions. The first thing that we've been doing, going to prompts, is the biggest prompt for this weekend, and that is the personalized path, where you immediately get from ChatGPT, Claude, or Gemini. I use ChatGPT, but I'm showing you Claude and ChatGPT at the same time, right? You put the prompt in, you copy it, the first one, number one, because that's step one. You put it in, and you go through the questions and the steps to get a personalized path. At the end of that, it's going to tell you who your target person should be, a core problem you want to solve for them, the promised transformation you want to offer them. It's going to also give you an ideal product to create for them, okay? And all of that is inside the first prompt. Now, anybody else want to pop on and tell me what they're getting? I would love to know. Did you get your snapshot yet? What do you think of this first prompt? I'm going to say keep as is because I like what I got, and I'm going to move forward. So what we created, my offer is called Turn One Big Idea into One Big Collection. My philosophy is your effort should compound and not disappear. And I have all of this information right in here. At the end of the prompt, it says, save this snapshot. So I always recommend open a Google Doc, Microsoft Word, some sort of document, and put it in there. Sometimes it's easy to search through and find your stuff, but if you're in your AI all the time, it may be hard. So putting it in a document that you can use to easily find these pieces as needed is just helpful, okay? So each of these has given me a closing snapshot. Now, this is essentially where it stops. Now, I'm going to pause just to check in the chat to see if you have questions, or unmute and talk to me to tell me where you are in the process.
Hi, LaShonda. It's LaVon. I have a question.
Hey, LaVon. How's it going?
Good. Now, question. I did the first prompt, but it did not give me a snapshot. It gave me the 3 paths.
Okay, so
3 paths, that was all it gave me.
So what's the last thing that it said for you? Can you read that out for me?
The last, so the third path that it gave to me, it gave me a reflective wellness curriculum for leaders and educators. Is that my answer? So it gave me
Well, I need to hear what it said at the ending. What does it say at the the ending of that 3-path
Okay. It
process.
said, oh, maybe it was me that did that. It said pick the option that feels most aligned, and that was it. So maybe that's what I didn't do.
Right. You have to keep going with the process.
Oh, okay. That's what I didn't do.
So
Okay. I didn't pick a path. Okay. I didn't pick one. I thought all three. Okay.
Right, because it's going to immediately give you 3 options and ask you, do you want to pick one of these or do you want to refine it if none of them fit?
Okay. I got it. I'll finish. Okay. Thank you.
Yes, awesome. So, yes, absolutely. Tammy says sell them what they want, give them what they need. Because at the end of the day, you know what they need, right? And what's great about doing a prompt like this is that the AI can help you see if what it recommends is in alignment with what your vision is or the direction you're trying to go, so that you can just tighten it, lock it in, and make it better, okay? So anyone else want to check in as far as this prompt is concerned? Definitely let me know. I'm going to give y'all a second or two just to kind of check in with me, and then I'm going to go into the next prompt in this sequence. Now, by the way, you can jump into the next prompt and keep on knocking them out if you want to. You don't necessarily have to wait for me or the group, especially those of you who are used to my CC Clarity coaching prompts. So you know how it goes. You could just jump in and do the next one, okay? But I'm going to go and grab that one in a second. I do want to just kind of see if you guys are good. Now, let me say this. The next prompt, and there are like 30 prompts, by the way. There are a lot of prompts because I want you to be able to create a lot of content from one big idea, okay? Let me just say that. You don't have to do all of them. You can skip. I'm putting them in the same conversation so that it already knows the context, and it's easier to just keep continuing one prompt to the next. You could do separate conversations, but I don't feel like starting over, okay? So check in if you need me. I'm going to go grab the other prompt.
John, I need you when you get back, please.
Oh, yep, I'm here.
Okay, so I'm at the,
You have a question?
where it's giving me strongest 3 ideas, hooks, or angles. So it's giving me 3. Ironically, one of them is kind of the workshop that I was going to be doing at the end of the month. But I'm wondering are each of these ideas kind of going in the direction of the snapshot, or they'll take you in different directions? Like, how do I take the 3 ideas and hooks and have an idea of, is that building a lead magnet, building a, what, from there, I'm sorry, let me start over. Choosing one of these ideas or hooks or whatever takes me where?
So, number one, it just gives you a range of possibilities, okay? And number 2, each prompt has a very specific purpose. So, as you're talking about hooks, is that the original prompt or another prompt?
The one that's saying the strongest 3 ideas, hooks, or angles to keep.
Did you get that from the first prompt, the personalized plan, or a different?
Oh, yes.
What I'm asking.
But it's not that first section. It's further down into the questions.
Okay. So it's essentially giving you angles in which you can have conversations around that. And you can do anything with it, if I'm being honest. So you can lean into one for now, but of course be mindful of the other ones. So when I say lean in, I just mean be mindful of the 3 hooks. Here's the one I'll focus on. But when I'm ready to do something more specific, I may want to go back to one of the other ones.
Gotcha. Okay, thank you.
Sure. All right. So I'm excited, y'all. Let's keep going with these prompts. Like I said, if you do want to check in at any part in the process, let me know. The next prompt says, lock in the reoccurring conversation you want to be known for, which is the one big idea. And I'm going to copy that, and I'm going to put that into ChatGPT. So I'm no longer going to be in Claude because I don't want to go back and forth forever, because otherwise if we did that, we would be on here forever. So I'm going to put in the next prompt and move from there. So now it says, welcome back. I already have your one big idea positioning, okay, and your multiplication system process. Are you ready to keep going? Yes. Yes. So if you stay in the conversation, it won't say, hey, I'm Cece, it's LaShonda's thing, let's keep going. It'll just kind of continue. So I'm reusing your one big idea philosophy. So instead of rediscovering the foundation, we're now refining it, okay? Here's the key distinction for this step. A one big idea is not a topic. It's the recurring truths that your audience starts associating with you. So here's the one question I want you to answer. When people leave your world, what do you most want them to fundamentally believe differently about themselves, their ideas, or their business? They can get clear, they can get intentional, they can get focused. I'm always telling people, we're going to do this with clarity and intention. A lot of times people, when they get on a clarity call with me, they'll go, okay, LaShonda, you think I'm crazy, right? I'm all over the place. I know I got a lot going on. It's like one of the natural things that people tend to say to me. And one of my words this year has been build. Another one has been one, the power of one. So if they walk away and fundamentally feel like, I have something cohesive, I have this one thing, it can vary, but it's one clear thing. That's what I want for them. So, yes, you can type it, and I like to type, but sometimes talking is just a little bit better. This is very revealing because underneath everything we build so far, your real transformation may actually be even deeper than extraction. All right. This is a core idea. Build an ecosystem. One clear idea can organize everything. You don't need more ideas. You need one clear connected direction. So the idea is the next prompt helps you turn this path into a one big idea message that you're trying to share with people, okay? So I will have replays, and I'll mention that and send out emails later. Once everything is done, I'll post those. Do we have the add one big idea into the same chat or start? The same one. That would be ideal. Want this, okay, now before I build the final one big idea deliverable, do you want the simple or the details? Details. All right, so my one big idea is you don't need more ideas, you need one clear direction, and it's just breaking it down for me. I think what it has is solid. I'm not changing anything, but you could, okay? Now, one of the things that I said is once I get the first prompt done, I'm rocking and rolling through these with you. Now, you can slowly go through and read all the things, ideally, right? But I'm going to go into the next prompt because I like the messaging here. I like my one big idea. Now, there are lots of different things that it's given me. One thing it's given me is a positioning statement. LaShonda helps women entrepreneurs stop constantly starting over by showing them how to organize their ideas, expertise, and content around one clear connected direction. Her work combines clarity, ecosystem thinking, visible implementation, AI-powered assets. Now, here's the thing. It's literally writing this for me. I don't have to painfully figure it out or have somebody else do it for me, right? Taking the time to do this over 2 days will shave off 2 years for some of y'all who constantly are sitting trying to figure it out or find the right people to help you figure it out. Now, I'm going back to my prompts. Big idea breakdown. Okay, somebody said amen. I'm on prompt number 3. I'm going to start rolling through these, okay? If anytime you go, ooh, LaShonda, I'm missing something, let me know. You don't have to move at my pace, but I want you to be clear. That's the most important thing about what I'm doing at each step and why. The big idea breakdown is when you can name, define, and really flesh out this concept that you're creating with the AI, okay? Now, actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put these side by side so I don't have to keep going back and forth. That's the easiest thing to do. I'm going to put them side by side. I'll make the ChatGPT side a little bit bigger so it's just easier. Perfection. All right, so I'm going to go to the one big idea prompt, paste that in, and just continue the conversation. Oh, wait. Actually, hold on. Let me edit this because I forgot to say keep as is. Let me first do that. Okay, so here's my closing snapshot before I go into the next prompt. You always want to close out the prompt before you go into the next one. And then you can copy that prompt into your document. All right. All right. Yes, let's keep going. We are rocking and rolling. If you're good, say good. Just want to make sure everybody is good and clear. If you're just coming on in here and you're like, what is she doing? Hey, Anissa. Hey, boo. How are you? If you're just coming on in here and you're like, what is she doing? Let's talk about it. Right now, I am literally inside the Ideas to Income Hub so that I can take you through this process of, in the next 2 days, turning one awesome idea into like 30 digital assets for your business. Are we using prompts? Yes, we're using prompts. If you don't have access to the prompts, you can just watch me. If you want to get the prompts and you're in my academy, log into the academy. You'll see Ideas to Income on the home page under the What's New section. If you're not into the academy, that's okay, because you probably got an email invitation today that said, number 1, get on the call, and then number 2, if you do want the prompts, click here to get them. That will take you to get my everything bundle. Get the bundle. It'll take you to Ideas to Income. If you struggle at all, unmute, ask me a question. I will help. Okay? Just wanted to reset the room. Somebody have a question for me? I hear somebody's unmuted.
I'm unmuted. This is Anissa. Hello.
Hey, how are you?
I'm doing great. So I just saw the email. I'm joining late, so I think I'm going to catch the replay and catch up.
Oh, we are literally just in the I want to say the beginning phase of it, because ladies are still in the first part of the prompt. So basically, just to kind of tell you, even if you don't have access yet, right, the first thing that you do when you get inside Ideas to Income, if you do want the prompts, is the personalized path. If you talk to your AI, you could use ChatGPT or Claude. I was showing the ladies how I use both. It's going to help you identify a particular person, a problem, and a digital product that you can create based on your expertise, who you are and what you love to do. And that's basically the first thing that we did today. That took up a good chunk of time. Okay? So, and this is not about anybody being behind, because we're building for 2 days. You put that prompt in, and that's the first place you start. Once you have those 4 pieces, your person, your promise, your problem, your product, then you want to turn it into a big idea. That's literally what we just did. So you haven't missed much. If you want to get the prompts, great. If you want to just kind of see where I'm taking this so you can see the kind of assets we create. Either way, you're in a great position to move forward, okay? So, again, check in if you have questions and you need me. Otherwise, we're going to keep mosey on through these prompts, okay?
Thank you. Thank you, LaShonda.
You're welcome. So I did the personalized path prompt. That helped me lock in my big idea because I did that prompt. That was real quick because the big idea was pretty much easy to lock in. Now I'm breaking it on down, right? So it says, all right, perfect. So instead of rediscovering the idea, we're now turning this into a named, teachable methodology. You want to make money off of your brain, you have to create a process, a framework, a system that you can teach. And you may not feel like you have one, but I guarantee you have one. You have one, right? So it might help you lean into something you've already created to tighten it or give you a new direction. Either way, it's going to help you beef up your good today, okay? So which one of these feels most like the center of the movement for you? Clarity, extraction, multiplication, compounding, ecosystems, or tell me in your own words if the real center is something slightly different. This is a hard one. I mean, I feel like this whole concept is a little bit of all of these things. But I think the biggest thing is extraction, I guess. Being able to not so much multiply, but pull out of what you have the best possible pieces to create amazing things. I'm always telling clients, let's create your amazing. And I'm always saying to clients on clarity calls, you're the expert here. I'm just trying to help you pull out of you what's already inside of you. So I guess B, extraction, would be the big one for me. So when you get to the big idea breakdown, that's where in your own words, you start to go deeper into describing your expertise, what you do, how you work with people, and get a better, streamlined framework. Okay, so this is actually clarifying a lot because now the center is not create more, it's unlock what you already have, the extractor. All right, this is much more empowering than let me teach you something you don't have. Do you want a simple or detailed breakdown? Let's do details. The one big collection method. Why this is the strongest. The extraction ecosystem. The compound effect. The idea extraction method. So it's giving me names for this concept. The connected brilliance system. My strategic recommendation, the idea extraction method. I'm going to be honest, I don't like any of these. I don't. The idea extraction method or the extraction ecosystem, okay, so I don't know if it's just that they sound technical or clinical or they don't necessarily clearly, just reading it, say what this does. Yeah, I don't like these. Ooh, you gave me a deep explanation. High-level overview. In the interest of time, I'm going to lock in what you gave me here, but I don't like these names, so I need something better. This is actually an important reaction that you want it to sound like this is like my movement, my framework. Now, listen, I'm actually brainstorming how I break down my big idea, My goal is not that you sit here and just simply watch me, but work on your big idea. So if you're working on it, say working. If you're watching, say watching, okay? If you have the prompts, that's the best thing. If you don't have the prompts, you can literally grab it and get in here right now. Otherwise, you can take notes and extract what you can to do some of these pieces so that you're not just simply watching, but to some degree working. Now, if you just need to watch or want to watch, that's cool, but I call it the Build-a-thon for a reason. Because I want you to build, right? And I want you to be able to intentionally take these 2 days that we're together as the birds are chirping in the background here as I'm sitting on this porch to actually turn one big idea into an amazing collection of assets that you can build from, okay? Let's see. Let's say maybe the ideas to assets extraction method. Extraction process. Not my most favorite option, but something. Once I name it, I'm knocking this out and going to the next thing. Now we are getting much closer. Ideas to assets. That is a big improvement already. Turn one big idea into a one big collection. Build once, multiply again and again. All right, there we go. So I'm going to say it's the ideas to assets extraction system or extraction method, where you turn one big idea into one big collection of digital assets your audience will love. I'm going to leave it at that for now because that's all I can think of. Can you just get rid of all of these trademark signs everywhere because it's driving me crazy? None of this is trademarked. And you have like 15 trademarks all over the place. And with ideas to assets, they can build once and multiply everything, everywhere, on repeat. All right. So let me know because I am rocking and rolling with this prompt. I cannot wait to get to step 5 because that's when we start to create real assets here. Tell me what step you're on because right now I am on step 3, about to move to step 4. Pause, and by the way, check in if you have questions. Working. Okay, Afi, I'll see you tomorrow. Oh, so this is a great question. Are the prompts focused on B2B or B2C? I'm a health coach. Honestly, it can be whichever you choose because it's about finding, even though the target is finding your person, if you want to do a B2B, you can frame it that way, right? You know, I actually would love to create something for a business, an organization, et cetera, because I'm thinking about, for example, Karen, when she was on, hers is more B2B than B2C when it comes to churches, organizations. So it could be either one, Tammy. Great questions, by the way. Feel free to check in if you have others. So this feels much more grounded and much more like your actual voice. Why this direction works. So I'm just breaking down my offer. Ideas to access. Yes, keep as is. My breakdown is done. Closing snapshot. I'm on to creating this into a framework. So the breakdown is, let me just kind of give you a sense of what's happening right now. You are an expert. Yes? You're an expert. Can somebody say I'm an expert? Because I know you are. You're an expert, right? And you know some amazing things that other people need to know. But you need to organize it before you can expand it, extract it, and monetize it strategically. And that requires steps. People go, just create a process, just create a how-to. But there are many hidden steps that they don't go through. That's what we're going through. So first, the AI will help you identify your path. Then you go deeper. From that path, you will lock in your one big idea. Then you go deeper. Once you have the one big idea, you want to break it down. You want to explain what that one big idea is. Then you go deeper. You want to be able to say, this is my process, my method, my system, my framework. This is step 4. You go deeper. So now that I have my snapshot, okay, now only in the interest of time, I am not reading through all of this, because if I did, we would be on here forever, okay? But I'm going to trust the process, and I'm going to paste the next part in, which is big idea to framework, and keep on keeping on, okay? You obviously want to take your time to read through it, and you can adjust as needed, all right? So I already have your ideas to assets system, build once, multiply everything, everywhere on repeat. All right. Is this good? Reply yes. Now, I think it's easier to just keep going in the same conversation rather than creating new ones, okay? But it's up to you. The teachable framework inside the movement. When someone goes through your system, what do you most want them to walk away with first? The first thing I want them to walk away with, A, their one big idea. Excellent. The first transformation, identifying and extracting the one big idea. Let's figure out the one thing underneath everything, and that is the real transformation. So now your framework needs to feel like a journey. Now, before I build the 3 framework candidates, want this simple or detailed? For now, let's do detailed. Identify, extract, organize, build, multiply. Now, this is where this is my love language, creating frameworks, right? I have something called my setup for sales system, right? And in setup for sales, you go through P's. You plan, you prep, you produce, you publish, you promote so that you can profit, right? This also has a framework. When you do the first prompt, you get a person, you get a pain point, or rather you get a person, a problem, hence the pain point, right? A promise, you get a position statement, and a product, right? So frameworks, creating them, helping clients create them is just something I love how to do, right? I know how to do, I love doing it. But again, if you're not necessarily working with me directly, using these prompts, you can extract what you know for the audience you're trying to help and turn it into a methodology. That is going to multiply your authority exponentially, because they go, oh, wait, this person has actually created a process for me to follow. Wow. They've created a process, a system, a framework, a workflow. That's legit, right? And if you want to be more of a credible authority in your space, that is something that you should learn how to do, okay? So let's keep rocking and rolling here. It's given me option 1, identify, extract, organize, build, multiply. What problem it solves? Okay, option 2, pillars. Clarify the idea, extract the assets, connect the ecosystem, compound the momentum. Option 3, stages. Focus, uncover, expand, connect, repeat, compound. So I'm not really a pillars person, if I'm being honest. I got stages, yeah. Okay. I prefer stages to pillars. That's the first thing. And I was just actually telling the ladies in the circle that I'm a kind of person who I like alliteration. I like things to start with a particular letter. It could be M, B, P. And I tend to I have another process that set up for sales where it's prep, plan, publish. Prep, plan, produce, publish, promote to profit, right? And in this case, we're going through the prompt that gives them person, problem, promise, product, position, right? So I would like to go through either the 5 or 6 stages, and ideally, if we could put some alliteration on it, that would be great. The one thing I liked about the pillars is just that outside of having one words, there was clarity in little short phrase descriptions outside of a full detailed description. But I would prefer stages instead. Not sure if I'm married to 5 or 6, but I'm looking for you to offer some insight there. Once we get this framework locked, baby, it's the content creation for me. I'm going to go into posts, reels, story time. There are quite a few of these, and you're going to be excited when you can start creating content from your framework, from your big idea. This is extremely helpful because now I can see your natural rhythm. Prep, plan, produce, publish, promote, profit. So 5 versus 6 stages. Why 5 is stronger? 5 stages tend to feel cleaner, okay? So build, bold, bigger brand. Clarity, connect, collection. Momentum, multiply, product. Here's where I think this gets really interesting. Short alliterative stage names. Brainstorm, breakout, build, link, duplicate, build framework. That's the B one. Capture, clarify, create, connect, compound. If you're following me, you can let me know which of these you think is interesting. I think I like C better than B. Even though build is a big word for me, clarity is also a big word for me as well. Clarity framework. Mine, organize, multiply, execute, nurture. I think I'm going to go with 5 stages C. C. C words, which is B. Put C underneath B. Perfect. Clarity, connect, collections, compound, create, cohesion. Were those the C words? Let me see. Okay. So, yes, we are going with these 5. Let me know. Are you good? Are you clear? I'm going to check in the chat to see what you guys are doing. Unmute yourself, number 1, if you just kind of went and let me know where you are in the process. Or ask a question. Feel free to interrupt me. But I think I'm pretty good with my framework. Moving on to step 5. And you could just even put a number in the chat to let me know what prompt you're working on so far. The hidden strengths. On number 4, good. I like to see that. This framework is now ready for diagrams, visual graphics, keynotes, workbooks, quizzes. You can expand this very quickly. A real teachable operating system. Want to keep as is? Yes. Keep as is. All right, here's the 5C framework for my ideas to asset extraction method. That's done. So I'm going to start actually creating content, y'all. This is when you put your big girl panties on and you go from ideation to actual content creation. And it's directed and it's guided and you feel better because you're not lost in a loop of what do I do now? What do I do now? These literally are building blocks for you, okay? Where are we now? So we're like a little over 2 hours into the process, and normally my build-a-thons are about 3 hours. Like I said, we really lovingly leaned into the first part, step 1. And I said, once you get through step 1, unless you feel like you have to really refine every little piece, it starts to quickly move through the other steps for you, at least for me, okay? But like I said, if you want to talk out anything with me, if you have questions, or you just want to share with me what you're getting or how you're feeling through the experience, I would love to know, okay? Like I said, this week is the virtual Build-a-thon. Next week is my in-person here in North Carolina. We don't ever do the same thing. We always do slightly different things, but it's always nice to kind of be in the room with you guys physically. It's a little bit different for me when we're hanging out virtually. But I'm going to move into now actually, again, focusing on creating content. The next step is big ideas to post. So I'm going to copy that and paste and keep on keeping on. Welcome back. Yes, we're still good. Perfect. We now need to decide how big of a content bank you want to build. Okay? Now, before I go into what the next one is, which is posts, because there are lots of different kinds of content pieces that you can create. I'm going to show you day 1 prompts, and then I'm going to show you day 2 prompts. So you have your product plan, list, start tier, low ticket offer, email sequence, illustrations. So there are a lot of prompts in here for you. And when you're inside of Ideas to Income, you can go through all of the prompts. Okay? So, all right. How big of a content bank do you want to build? You can do 3, 7, or 30 posts. I'm going to keep it simple because I just really want to show you what this looks like. And honestly, There are well over 10 prompts in here. If you did 3 each, that would give you 30 pieces of content. So I'm just going to go with 30. Now, tell me the platform direction so I can shape. Do you want to do Instagram, Facebook, Threads, LinkedIn, X, or all platforms? I'm going to do Instagram. Before I build, want the simple or the details? Details. So here are your recurring post angles. Clarity. Posts that help people realize the real problem is not lack of ideas, it's lack of connected direction. Ideas to assets. Posts that demonstrate how one idea can become content, products, prompts, workshops, etc. Ecosystem thinking. Behind the build, compound momentum. Ooh. So it gave me 3 posts. Here's the first post idea. This one is about clarity shifting. You do not need more ideas. Most entrepreneurs are not struggling because they are uncreative. They're struggling because everything they create lives separately. Comment 1 if you want to stop creating random content and start building a connected ecosystem. So literally, it's giving me 3 social media posts for Instagram based on my big idea. Okay? I could have said 3, 7, or 20. I started with 3. Okay? Now, what would I do with this? Okay? There are a lot of things. Number 1, you can create a graphic. You could just post a picture of yourself and put this whole conversation in the description, right? You could do a video and do a 7-second video where you're like, listen, you don't need more ideas. You need ... and then do a dictation behind it, okay? I'm going to go to Instagram real quick and go to my page real quick so I can show you an example post. But here's the thing. Before you even do a post, half the time people have to figure out what the hell to post, right? So each prompt really is designed to help you create a different type of content. This one specifically is designed for social media posts. Then there is one for articles. There's another one for graphic illustrations. We're running the gamut for video content, all the things, okay? So if you have questions about what I'm doing at any part in this process, check in, okay? But as I'm going through these, like I said, I will be flowing through these because it's doing the work. It's doing the hard parts. When you get the content, you can read it and go, ooh, I don't like this or I don't like that, and tweak it to make it better. But at least you're not starting from scratch, number 1. And number 2, you're not starting all over the place. It becomes cohesive because everything that you're building with these prompts is from one big idea. Okay? So that's the throughway path that makes this process beautiful. Okay, so let me pause the recording and go to Instagram. Okay, so I'm on Instagram. I'm on my profile. Let's go to this one right here. So I'm actually, I think this was like a year or 2 ago when we went to Jamaica. I'm kind of sitting on the beach. I do random videos wherever I go, so I have B-roll content, right? So this is what you call a 7-second video. I'm literally just sitting there 7 seconds, right? And I need to turn down the volume. I don't want copyright issues. But it just says, if it's taking you months to create your product, you're overthinking. Start with one simple digital product you can actually finish and sell in under 60 minutes. And then the copy is right there, right? So am I talking in this video? No. I could have been eating at a restaurant, and then I put text on the top, and there you go. Literally all the apps, Instagram, TikTok, all of them, you can literally put text on the screen in the app itself. You don't have to use an outside application. two applications that are really good, two apps for video editing. Captions is my new favorite, but CapCut is my old favorite. Captions I like because you can just do some cool visuals. This one, I think I just did TikTok text on screen. I really didn't do anything crazy, number one. Number two, if I go to this one, this is me talking. I'm literally in the hotel room where I'll be doing my North Carolina event next week. I'm sitting on the couch and I'm talking, right? And then I just have a transcription of what I'm saying there. Do you have to talk in the videos? No. You could do voiceover. So if I go to this video, let's do this one. Okay, this is also me at the Hilton. I do my event at the same location all the time, right? Let me see if I can turn up the volume. Your content somewhere to go and your people too. So let's lean into what a simple digital product can look like for you. For me, that's something like an easy ebook app. Now, this is not just a PDF sitting in a folder. It's a simple web-based experience you can use as a freebie. Okay, so literally, I put this in captions. I had the AI clip all the little this was me sitting there for about 30 minutes in random positions typing on my laptop, just being silly. Now, was this my idea? Actually, no. I found several people do random things, and I just save videos that I like. And then when I was in the hotel room, I think I stayed there for an extra 2 days after everybody left the event, and stayed and did more content. And then I was like, okay, let me stay another day. And I did more content. You know what I mean? Sometimes I'll just stay a day early or a day late. You could do this at home. But one of my things is whether you have an event or not, you could just book a hotel room and go in there and do things, or an Airbnb, right? People sometimes will book an Airbnb or a content studio. There are actually some really nice ones in North Carolina that I've been curious about going to, where they are made for you to go to. Like, you ever see people and you're like, oh my gosh, their setup is so cool. Sometimes they're not even in their home. They're at an Airbnb, they're at a content studio. Like, how do they get that cool thing where, you know, they have a bookcase behind them and they're in this nice, like, studio-looking podcast area, and they don't always do it in their spot. I'm actually going to be, once I get my coins together, I'm actually going to be creating my own content studio for you guys, because why not? Because I just know the look and feel that works for a lot of these videos. But you don't have to ever limit yourself and go, oh, I don't like my space. When I started, and even to today, every now and again, okay, I'll do videos in my car. You know what I mean? Like, car videos is definitely a thing, you know, or I sit on my porch. You can utilize your space, or you can go to a space you feel more comfortable in, whatever works for you. And you don't necessarily have to talk. Hell, you don't even have to be in front of the camera. Nowadays, a lot of people are doing faceless videos or animations where they're doing AI clones, and the clone is in the video and they're not even in the video. So you have options, okay? Now, let's go back to what I was working on. Yeah. Okay. No. So I wanted to show you some actual examples of micro videos I created, but you don't have to create a video. You can have an article text. You can do a carousel with graphics. There are options. The point being is that you don't have to start from nowhere, and the AI can help you with your hooks, your content body, and you feel like you're a part of the process and not looking outside the window, right? Because I know some of you feel like that, right? You feel like everybody else is creating content, everybody else has a clear understanding of what they need to post on these social media streets, and you're sitting there like a deer caught in headlights, right? You don't have to be that way. But you also don't have to create a situation where you're just randomly just going, oh, well, so-and-so said this and so-and-so said that. And you're spaghetti marketing. You're throwing everything at the wall and hoping to God that something sticks. The idea with this particular path is that it's cohesive and it's clear, which makes you feel more confident about consistently putting stuff out there. Does that make sense? Because a part of it is sometimes people, they don't do it because they don't know what to post, or they don't do it because they feel like they randomly post stuff that doesn't really have anything to do with their real business. So they're like, I don't think I need to post anything today because, no, right? When it becomes a machine and you post more often is because you've got some strategy behind it. And, of course, those of you who work with me privately, you can have me work on stuff for you. Like Cynthia yesterday, she was like, okay, LaShawn, I need to send out an email. Help me, tweak this document before I put it out, right? Emails, sending email sequences, graphics, apps, whatever we're working on in that moment, okay? So are you good? Let me know. If you have questions, check in. What I'm going to do is jump right into the next prompt, which is Reels. And you just saw me show you some of my, I got to do a quick power pause, y'all. What do you use for your voiceovers? Oh, I record right into the whatever app I'm using, because all of them have that feature. Like when you're in Captions or TikTok and you're editing, they all have a voice section, and then they all have record. So either you could just put in a video that has sound, or you can literally record inside of it. The video you saw when I was doing all kind of craziness, I was using and on the couch, flipping on top of the couch, all kind of silly stuff. That one I did in the Captions app. And I think Captions is like $20 a month or something. I can't remember. But I used to use CapCut a lot. But to be honest with you, you could just use whatever is native in the programs themselves. Instagram has something called Edits, Instagram Edits. TikTok also has its own internal editing. Sometimes I just internally edit in TikTok, and then whatever I make, I download it and then upload that video into multiple platforms. And that's useful because I think that if you want free, the best free would be, as far as the social media apps themselves, I like TikTok's editor versus Instagram and YouTube, but that's just a personal preference. All right, so did I finalize these prompts? Keep? Yes, keep. Closing snapshot, yay. Reels. So same thing. It will give you, Reels are short videos. So Reels you have on Instagram, TikTok calls them TikToks, and then YouTube calls them YouTube Shorts, but they're just all short form videos. The ones that I showed you, ones that I'm talking, usually when I'm talking, I'll do those for anywhere between 1 to 3 minutes on average, sometimes more than that, because some of the platforms you can do up to 10 minutes of talking. But most of the ones when I do voiceovers are usually under 3 minutes. I like to do something that's between a minute and 90 seconds. Then the ones where I just have text on the screen, like when I was on the beach, that's 7 seconds. So those ones where you just kind of have text on the screen, music, those tend to be what we call 7-second videos. I'm going to put in the Reels one so it can help me with this one. I think I'm going to jump ahead, and I'll tell you why, because there's one in particular that I actually really want to do, and then I'm going to come back to this one I'm doing right now is Step 6 Reels. Okay, so what do you want to do? Short form content, how many videos, on camera, voice over, text only, or a mix? Let's do 3 videos and a mix. A mix, but no on camera. I don't feel like recording anything where I'm in front of the camera right now. Okay, so simple or detailed? Detailed, please. So it shows me, it says the video would say you don't need more ideas, it would say text on the screen and then the voiceover. You probably already have the idea that you could change your business. And then, oops, it zooms in a little bit. Please, no mosquitoes right now. Please, I'm going to have to turn on the fan to get rid of the mosquitoes. Then it says, most entrepreneurs are not struggling because they lack ideas. They're struggling because everything they create lives separately. But what if one strong idea could organize everything? So I just need to read this. I don't have to make up anything. I just need to read this. And it's, you could use something like Big View teleprompter if you're on in looking at the camera and read it. Or you could read one sentence, stop it, read the next sentence, stop it. You don't have to memorize the whole thing. You can use Big View teleprompter, just cut up the sentences, read one at a time. The other thing that you could do is actually have AI read it for you. There's a company called 11 Labs where literally you can say a bunch of words, it captures your voice, it knows what you sound like, and it literally you just give it the script and it will create an audio with the whole script written out in your voice, and you don't have to actually sit there and read anything. Now, again, if you want a free 99, low budgeted, you don't have to use 11 Labs. You can just simply sit there and read it. But again, you don't have to sit and make up the words. It literally makes it for you. So this is basically showing me what I would do, right? And this is not, for me, it's not complicated in the sense that what I would probably do is go to my photos folder, find videos, and use that. Now, I've showed you guys this a couple of times. I'm going to do it real quick. Go to my photos folder. Let's do that real quick. Okay, so I'm going to go over to albums, and I'm going to go over to, it's either 100 Days of Doing or 100 Days of Doing. Okay. So, like, for example, this is a random video, some beach, Sandbridge Beach, North Carolina. Okay. Is this North Carolina? Virginia? I don't know. It's a beach somewhere. So what I did is there are several instances where I'll just sit, and me and the lovely Kim Coles, she did something here. This was a while ago. This was back in 2018. She did something here and invited me, and Jay and I went. What was I about to say? Times where you're sitting and you're doing absolutely nothing, scrolling the internet, scroll your photo library. Create an album, put photos in there. I literally went back to like 2006, okay? And I just found things. This is, Brooklyn. I grew up in Brooklyn, so we were there because my sister was getting an award, me and Christopher. And, while we were in the hotel and while we were going around, I just took a bunch of Anissa, are you still here? That's so funny. This is my big sister, Jen.
Yes, I'm here.
Me, do you remember?
Yep, I remember that event.
Oh, my God, this is 6 years ago. That's so funny. Oh, my goodness. And so, like, literally, it's funny because that's 6 years ago. I sat for a couple of days. Here is Faye, because Faye came out when I was in New York that time as well. And I just sat there and organized videos that I had. So I broke my toe, and I had to wear a boot for a while. Sat there and organized the videos. Why? Because then you're not going, what can I pull from? You have things that you can pull from. I do a bunch of Boss on the Beach sessions where whenever I'm on the beach, one of my favorite besties from college, Julie, we were in Myrtle Beach. Whenever I do beach things, I sit and record. I'm here on my porch recording either my books or books that I've helped, magazines that I help my clients create. Take the time to, I always call this, do something today that your future self will thank you for. And if you want to create content where you don't have to get in front of the camera you sit down and you pull from what you have. Now, some of these are random. Some of these are personal events. Some of these are me intentionally sitting and talking in front of the camera. There is a range. And some of these are in person. Tiffany, I think Tiffany's on the line. Tiffany and Dr. Kira at one of my in-person events here. So, yes, if you do nothing else, if you take nothing else from what I'm saying, you don't always have to manually get in front of the camera. Can you come back at some point and give me some ice? Thank you. I love that I don't have to buy the groceries. I don't have to take them and put them in the car or take them out of the car or even put them in the house. I'm like, it's all taken care of. Except he's about to go to college, so I can no longer say, Christopher, come downstairs and get the groceries. All right, so enough of that. Let's go back into the heart of the things. Okay. So I think I'm going to do about 2 more of these prompts so that we can have 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 4, just about 3 hours done for day number 1. But I'm here. I'm on my porch. So if you guys want to rock out with me for a little longer than that, let me know, and I will certainly do that. So far, I've utilized prompts that help me turn my big idea into a framework, into social media posts, into short-form video reels. And I'm going to jump to day 2 because there's another prompt that I want to share with you from day 2, actually 2 in particular. And I want to go there because I like those. So I'm going to go to day 2 real quick. And I want to look for the list prompt. Big idea to big list. Does anyone know what listicles are? Yes or no? Do you know what listicles are? Awesome. I'm glad you could join today. No, you don't know what listicles are? Okay. So listicles are basically lists, and you'll see them all the time. And people will say, here are 100 ways to do this, or here are 15 ways to do that, right? Here are 20 books that I think you should be reading this year, right? Just a list, shareable content. And so the idea is we're trying to pull out content that you have inside of you, but you don't even know it. So I've already done the heavy lifting. I've broken this thing up so that you could pull out articles. Hold on. Okay. These are content, excuse me, tongue-tied. These are prompts that you can turn into reels, social media posts, articles, illustrations, videos. I mean, I didn't want you to have to figure out what kind of content you could produce. That's the purpose of these posts, okay? So we're going to do some offer ones as well. But, okay, I'm doing the big list one. So give me the clearest version of the audience you want this lead magnet to pull from. Okay. You give me one. That is a good one. You think. Sometimes I'm like, I don't know. You give me one. Experienced women. Okay. Okay, great. Oh, this is not the prompt I wanted to do. This is to create a lead magnet for your list. Oh, man, I wanted to do the one that's create a list. Sorry, I read that wrong because there is a big list and then there's the other ones. But I'll keep doing this one. So this one helps you create a lead magnet. I read it too fast. I need to ask my AI where's the other one because I don't see it. But let's do this one. One of the things I wanted you to be able to do is to create lead magnets from your content. So this one is brainstorm a challenge, checklist, or cheat sheet. I'm going to give you one recommendation for each. So the one big collection sprint. Turn one idea into one collected series. It's a 5-day challenge. A checklist or a cheat sheet. My strategic take. Honestly, the strongest overall lead magnet is the sprint. I think so. Yes. Challenge. Detailed. And I want to call it a challenge instead of a sprint. Communicates. Okay, final. Okay, so this is giving me a traditional challenge that I can create, right? And now it says, I can give you a paste-ready, lovable prompt that builds this into an interactive challenge. Keep, yes, I want the lovable web app prompt, but I will build it in Canva AI. So one of the things that I've been doing with you guys is making apps, right? So not only can you have it help you create the content from the perspective of outlining it, but actually building it out into stuff it can do as well. So create an interactive web app called the One Big Collection Challenge. All right, so let's see what this looks like. I'm not doing a deep prompt here. It's going to probably give me something that I'm going to have to clean up and tweak, but let's see what it looks like. So let's go to Canva AI. Let's minimize our presentation and click on Canva AI. Now, Canva AI is right on the side here, but I don't want to do that in here. Let's go to the home page. So I'm going to go to home, click on Canva AI, and then from Canva AI, I want to click on code because I'm going to make an app. How many of you have made apps with me? You can say me or no, not me. Now I'm going to hit enter, and it's literally going to make an app for me. So it's 3:55, so let's see how long this takes. On it. Generating the code. So what's cool about this is, yeah, you can make videos, you can make articles, you can make social media posts, you can turn it into apps, you can turn it into a presentation, you can turn it into a list, you can turn it into a lead magnet. The sky's the limit here. And I wanted to give you prompts where there was no reason for you to go, I don't know what to produce. There's no excuse. I've already figured out fundamental pieces of content you could pull from this. So it's been about a minute. And I call these 10-minute tiny tools because usually they take under 10 minutes to build, sometimes even faster depending upon what the topic is. Now, I didn't necessarily brand it like with my color scheme and all the things, so out of the gates it may not look the way I want it to, but we'll see. I'm not going to customize it today. I'm not going to have y'all on here too long because I want to do one more prompt. But like I said, are you good with one more prompt and we wrap up? Otherwise, if a few people want to keep going, I'll do a few more of these today. But then we'll keep building more content types tomorrow. Okay? Just let me know. While I'm waiting for it to be done with my app, you can check in if you have questions, ideas, ahas, either via the chat or unmute yourself. And if you're not coming to my event next week, but you would like to, it's here in Greenville, North Carolina. You can check in and let me know. This is not bad. I'm not mad at it. The One Big Collection Challenge. Identify your one big idea. Day 2, clarify. Day 3. Okay, so it's 3:57, 2 minutes. And out of the gate, I have to say I'm not mad at what it created. It's not my exact purple. It's not off, right? Then I can publish this, my One Big Collection Challenge. I'll call it OBC. Go to settings, One Big Collection Challenge. And then, now, by default, you can use the free URL or you can buy your own. I have bought several, so I'm just going to use one of mine, OBC. I'm just going to put OBC and publish, so it's easy. And then I will open it so I can show it to you. The web app. Whether I choose to sell it or give it away for free, it's up to me. And obviously, I would need to test it to make sure that it's like, so it says, what's your one big idea? What's your target audience? You fill out the pieces, and then you get a summary at the end that you can copy, that you can print. I like it. And I didn't go through a deep process of explaining what I wanted. None of that. I just used what it gave me. But see, when you do the first couple of steps, breaking it down, creating the path, making it into a framework, a lot of that heavy lifting is in there so that it has the fundamentals that you need to make the other content creation pieces go really, really fast. So I built an app. Now, could I do another one? Absolutely. I could do a cheat sheet. I think there are 5 lead magnet types that I've given you. That particular list building app has 3 of them: cheat sheet, checklist, and challenge. So apologies, the one that I wanted to do, the list one, I'll do that one tomorrow because I'm going to do the illustrations. You want to do illustrations? Say yes, because I know you do. I love illustrations. Okay, so I'm going to go to the big idea. This is number 8, day 2. I'm kind of skipping ahead because I want y'all to be able to play with some of these when we are done, like between today and tomorrow, okay? Sorry. I need some. All right. We're going to work on visuals. Yes. Perfect. but I want to tighten the visual direction. Give me your preferred brand colors, your font vibe, your main platform, and if you want, your preferred visual style. All right, so I'm going to give it this in a cohesive way, okay? First of all, I have a style that I like, that I've been creating a lot of content pieces with ChatGPT using this particular style. So let me see if I can find the images that I want to give to it. Okay, at some point I stopped recording. I think when I went to go upload my images. So quick recap. I uploaded a few reference photos. Let me scroll to show you that. I uploaded some photos and said, I want to create infographics. Then ChatGPT was able to create prompts. And then I said, okay, it gave me several options. I said, I want you to turn option 1, image 1, into an image. So that's what it's doing now. And like I said, I could take the prompts that it gave me and put it into Gemini, and it basically gave me a style that was similar to what I already had. So it fits the aesthetic that I've already been building in, which is what I wanted. So ideas to assets, capture, clarify, create, connect, compound, right? Identify your big idea. Look, it's got a My Big Idea book. Define the transformation. It's got a notepad where you're breaking down the transformation. Create your assets. Look, checklist, ebook, workshop. Connect them and then compound them. And so it created a whole visual experience, right? So out of curiosity, I'm going to take that same prompt and I'm going to put the same prompt into Gemini and see what it gives me. I'm going to copy this real quick, and then let me go over to Gemini. I'm not in Gemini, so what did I do? Okay, so now I can mosey on over to, I should have said use, I did the wrong thing. I just popped it in there and didn't tell it what to do. Sorry, I gave you a random thing and didn't say what to do. Can you create image 1 for me? Then let me do, do I want to give it a reference photo? First, I will just see what you create, and then maybe I'll give you a reference photo. I just kind of want to see out of the gate what it creates. Am I still recording? Okay, good. Sometimes I forget to turn it back on. And they're connected to different AI image generators, so a lot of times they look different. This is cute. I'm not mad at it. Premium watercolor. Well, it says premium watercolor infographic, so that's wrong. But capture, clarify, create, connect, compound, that's right. So okay, so the title is actually not premium watercolor infographic. LOL. It should be ideas to asset extraction. Can you keep the design as is but change the title at the top? Hopefully it can recreate it for me, but not do anything crazy. Just change the text at the top. Fingers crossed. Because I like that one. And it's completely different. There we go. That's even better. Awesome. So let's mosey on back over to this area. Okay. So as you can see, there are many, many prompts in here for you. If I go back to day one, what did we not do? We didn't do the story time prompts or the meaningful messages. I love meaningful messages, if I'm being honest. So I think I'm going to show the meaningful messages one to you, and then I'll wrap up. Okay? Let me know how y'all are doing. How many prompts have you done? Which ones? Feel free to unmute yourself if you would like to. So I got a closing snapshot for this one. I'm going to do meaningful message. Welcome back. Yes. Like you said, I said, literally, I cannot make this up. You will rock and roll through these prompts. The only thing that might slow you up is if you kind of want to tweak things and, you don't like something and you want to get it right. But, the AI is doing most of the work. So meaningful messages is maybe you want to do devotionals, scriptures, quotes, whether they are original, your own, or common ones that you just want to pull from based on your concept, your framework. One question before we build. What faith or value context and tone do you want to build? Encouraging, faith-centered, scripture-forward, gentle, inspirational, hybrid of faith, business, and encouragement. Which one do you think I should lean towards? Now, I do that quite a bit with you guys. Why? Because I want you to know that, yes, you can pick one, but you can also ask the AI to check in with you. And it says E, and I was going to lean towards E too. So you don't always have to just feel like you have to be the one making the decisions. You can ask it, hey, I'm just curious, which one do you think I should pick? Right? So you want simple or detailed? Let's go with details. Original quotes. Your next best breakthrough may not require a new idea. It may require finally building one you already carry, right? Your efforts should compound, not disappear. Clarity is not always about finding something new. Sometimes it's finally seeing the value of what is already there. Now, so many things that you can do with these messages. Number one, they can be social media content. Number two, they can be journal prompts. Number three, they can be a book, like for real. Like I'm going to show you a few examples of how I turn meaningful messages into content. But you don't have to just use automatically what it gives you. You can tell it, oh, I definitely want to use these. I say this all the time, and then refine from there, okay? So let's take a look at some of my Canva prompts. And those of you in the Academy have access to all my prompts, right? I'm going to mosey on out of this real quick and go home, okay? So let's scroll for a second because I've been working on quite a few projects for clients, lots of book projects. I'm looking for Elizabeth's project because we are working on her gratitude. Well, we finished it. I don't know if she ordered the copies yet. I'm assuming she did. Here's a children's book I was working on. I don't know why it's not loading my stuff. I'm going to have to hit search. Gratitude journal. Maybe something's hung up on my internet, my Wi-Fi. while it's doing that, I'm going to go to my Google Drive real quick. Drive. And I'm going to search for 43 lessons. So, I am about to be 46 in a couple of days. I'm a May baby, May 26th. And when I was 43, I used AI to create AI illustrations, and I then turned it into 43 motivational lessons, and made this. It's digital, but it's also a physical print book. I asked God to help me grow, and it started raining. If you can't find the sunshine, be the sunshine. I said, you know what? There are just some beautiful messages that really keep me keeping on, and I want to share them with you. So I paired some of these images that I made, and I think at the time I had made these in Mid-Journey. I paired them with these meaningful messages, right? I'm where I am because other women helped me. For that reason, amongst many, I'll always help other women, right? It's up to you what you do with that content, right? This is just one example. I'm trying to, and not successfully. I don't know why my Canva is frozen. Let me close it and try to open it again. See if that helps. Okay, that helps. Did we have any meaningful messages? Is Tiffany still here? I want to say maybe a year or two ago we worked on Tiffany's Whole Women Planner. It's physical. Oh, this is just covers of different projects we worked on. I thought that was the actual planner. If I can find that planner, I'll show it to you. But I'm looking for... Okay, here is...
Hi, it's Tiffany. Was
Elizabeth.
it Birth Out the Still Brilliant? Something like that.
Did you have messages in there? Did you have quotes in there?
I believe so.
Okay. I'll see if I can find it. So Elizabeth and I last month worked on a gratitude journal, and this is one of the prompts that I have. I have workbook prompts, journal prompts, notebook prompts, course books. You name it, I've built it. So Tiffany said, listen, I got an event coming up. I need a book. So within, I don't know, an hour or two, I helped her put this together. It's 120 pages. I'm thankful for revelation and for all the dreams and goals placed in my spirit. So once I came up with a formula to mapping out her journal, I think it's a 90-day gratitude journal. Then we have sections like this, where it's like, today I am grateful for, and then it's like a little message in here, who or what made you smile today. Gratitude doesn't require a perfect day. It simply asks you to notice what is still good. So then we kind of broke up the pages, and I said, okay, well, you have quotes, messages. We can break up the pages. And then also she has these pages where she has these images, and then she has little messages on those pages as well. So there are a lot of different things that you can do with your content to monetize it. I love meaningful messages. I love the fact that you can share them with people on a daily basis, and then you can use them in a lot of creative ways. And if you don't know how to be creative, that's why I created these prompts, and that's why I do these trainings with you in groups, but even better when we're in person or we're working privately one-on-one, right? So I'm going to share two other ways in which these come in handy. So Tiffany, let's look for Tiffany's planner real quick. Tiffany's magazine issue, Tiffany's planner. Okay, so her planner is smaller. It's 60 pages, but still very much a powerhouse. Yes, we did do quote messages. Tiffany had some really nice images, and I believe she used Canva AI to create the graphics. Yes, I didn't create the graphics for her. I just created the template, and the ladies have gotten really good at using Canva AI to create their amazing. And then the key is not to prioritize what's on your schedule, but to schedule your priorities. That's a good one, right? And this is, I love this template. I just love it so much. I have many templates where it's undated, and then the person can just date it. And literally, you can use one of my templates, and you go, where are they? They're in the academy. Go to collections, go to templates, and you'll find so many different templates, y'all. It's the thing. Where's another one? One of my favorites is, before AI, I was writing my messages by myself. Good morning, girl boss. So I was like, I want to do 365 messages, but at the time it was just too much, so I kept procrastinating. So I sat down and I did 30 messages for Good Morning, a series called Good Morning, Girl Boss. So that literally, it's 30 or 31, 30, so that you can basically say what day it is and then read the message for that day. This I did back in 2018. So today is the 9th. Let me find the message for the 9th. Now, I also strategically made this book square because I love square books, but then also because on Instagram, square posts work. So I then could download any page, and on any given day, I had content. So for 30 days, every day I posted one of these messages, and I reposted them several times. I haven't done that in a while for Good Morning Girl Boss, but I could. I'm going to look for the day 9 message because today is the 9th, right? And it's been a while since I've looked at Good Morning Girl Boss, so why not? And I put these photos in the middle, aim high, fly high, just graphics that I love this one. She believed she could, and so she did. That's one of my favorites. Ooh, I passed day 9. So this one, day 9 says, pick your poison boss. Do you plan to fight the fear today? FEAR, face everything and rise, so you can go after the life you are meant to get? Or do you plan to succumb to the fear, FEAR, forget everything and run, living a life full of fear and regret? So, don't know who that's for, but whether you are live or on the replay side, that message might have been for you today. Okay. So, like I said, I wanted to show you real ways, because here's the thing, okay? Here's one of my biggest pet peeves, and I'm going to be honest with you. One of my biggest pet peeves when it comes to AI right now is that a lot of people are creating a lot of stuff that is absolutely useless. They do nothing with it. And a lot of people are creating a lot of prompts that help people create more stuff that's absolutely useless, and they do nothing with it, right? I have been able to monetize my stuff. I've been able to use my stuff to create products, to create marketing content, to create services, to create classes, to create books. You name it, I've built it, baby. When I use AI, I use it intentionally, and I help my audience do the same, right? So ladies are, they're turning that content into books. They're making planners. They're making journals. They're teaching. I think it was maybe 2 days ago, Cynthia and I worked on her reset. She has a reset lead magnet, but then she created an app to go with the lead magnet, right? So everything is being created with intention. And I want you to do that. Yeah, I love creating fun shit. Okay, great. But you want to create with intention, especially when it comes to AI, because, there's too much AI slop out there, number one. And it's not just about creating things for fun. As an entrepreneur, you're creating it so you can make funds, right? You can generate money. I'm just keeping it real. So depending upon what it is that you're trying to do, you should make sure you prioritize creating content you actually can convert into revenue, ideas you actually can convert into income, right? To me, that just makes sense. Make it make sense. So, we did it, y'all. I think we went maybe 30 minutes longer than I anticipated. But like I said, I wanted to hang out with you and walk you through this process of turning your big idea into a big collection, right? So, excuse me, apologies, because when I sit on the porch, the pollen, just the outside. Like, I'm not a nature girl. I'm really not meant to be outside too long because my allergies, right? But anywho, quick recap as far as what we did today. While I'm recapping, okay, please feel free to interrupt me if you just want to check in, tell me what you did, what you learned, what you're excited about, because I would love to see. And in between today and tomorrow, of course, check in with me if you want me to put your stuff on the screen, critique it, offer recommendations, all the things, okay? So we worked on creating your personalized path. Then we did the big idea breakdown so you can actually name your big idea and turn it into a framework. We didn't get to love it lists, but baby, we're going to get to it. We did do meaningful messages, creating memorable brand language. We did not do story time, but stories sell, and stories sell well. So being able to do the story time prompt is essentially creating emotional stories that your audience can relate to and humanize your brand, okay? So that prompt was a day one prompt that we didn't necessarily work through. We did the idea to post prompt so you can create content on social media to build repeatable posting system. We definitely dived into ideas to illustrations so you can see how you could use your AI platform of choice to create visual storytelling assets, okay? So the main focus for day one, which is now done, was to work on one positioned big idea, naming the framework, batching out some awesome content, and having one clear momentum direction. Now, hopefully I did what I set out to do, and I didn't overwhelm you, and you were able to practically utilize these prompts. Closed mouths don't get fed, right? So I always say get your ASK, get your ask in gear. If anything went over your head, if anything was not clear, check in with me, and I'll do my best to point you in the right direction, okay? From here, keep going. You can choose one of the sessions we worked on to revisit and keep going, finish any unfinished pieces, organize what you did today into assets, and prepare to multiply, right? Save the strongest ideas, especially in documents, so that outside of having to sift through all your chat conversations, you have Google Docs or Microsoft Word docs that might be easier for you to search and find. Make sure that, like I said, you can bring your questions tomorrow, especially those of you who are live. And, of course, we'll be doing quite a bit of these things, different things next week. When you guys hang out with me here in North Carolina. If you aren't already registered, you can check in and let me know if you're interested in joining us here at the Hilton in Greenville, North Carolina. But we're going to do this virtual this weekend and then the in-person next weekend. So whether you have the opportunity to hang out with me virtually or in person, I can support you when it comes to creating your amazing. So, y'all, I think that's it. I think we're done. What am I going to do? I think I'm going to go work out, hang out with Prin, eat a snack. Is that the hubby coming back? Yes. Looks like the hubby is coming back. Yes. As we wrap up. So, alrighty, y'all. Thank you so much for joining me live. If you're interested, Tammy, in the in-person event, send me your email and I can send you the details. All of that is online. There's one coming up next week, and then there's also one coming up in October. I think you emailed me earlier today, too, so I can email you, as a matter of fact, as soon as I get off so I don't forget. Okay? Alrighty, y'all, go forth and have a beautiful and blessed day. Thank you so much for joining me live and or on the replay side. I think what I'm going to do before I do the workout thing and the food thing is actually get the replays up for you. Mwah. You'll see that on my YouTube in just a bit. Bye, y'all.